Hey everybody, Half Chef Will Travel here. Continuing our squash episodes. Today we're going to work with my second favorite squash, the spaghetti squash. Not a quick recipe item. Takes a little bit of time to get it usable. But again, it is one of my favorites and it lends itself to savory recipes quite well. Today we're going to do something pretty simple, keeping it clean, keeping it easy. Let's just get into it. First things first, we're going to cut our squash right in half. Now that is easier said than done. Spaghetti squash are really tough, so make sure your knife is really sharp. And take your time. Wow, that was hard. Second step, as with all squashes, let's go ahead and clean those seeds out. And again, when you're cleaning these, don't go too deep into the flesh. You just want to get those seeds and their strings like so. Now that you've got them cut in half and cleaned, bring us a cookie sheet in or baking pan. I'm going to give each half a little splash of olive oil, about a tablespoon. And rub that around. And then give it a good liberal sprinkling of herb salt. And don't forget to turn that, get the sides of the inside as well. Then you're going to flip these cut side down and into a 350 degree preheated oven. Alright, while we're waiting for our spaghetti squash to cook, I've got a half cup of sage leaves, line them all up like so. Roll them up and give them a good chopping. Again, make sure your knife is sharp. You don't want to bruise these. Kind of a coarse, medium kind of a chop, like so. Alright, after what seems like an eternity, you know your squash is done when you got that, when you can push on it and it gives. So now I'm just going to let it cool off. As you can see, we got a little bit of charring. That's good. It's nice and soft. We'll give it a few minutes to be able to handle it. When you flip these over, be really careful because there's an amount of steam built up inside there. So be careful, don't burn yourself when you flip it over. Alright, after about 10-15 minutes, cool enough for me to handle. So I'm going to stick a bowl right there, take my spoon and just scoop out the flesh. And then you see why it's called spaghetti squash, because it's stringy. And I'm only going to deal with one half of the squash for tonight. Once you've gotten your squash roasted and cleaned out, head to the stove, put a pan on a medium-low heat, and add half a stick of butter. You can also add about a tablespoon of olive oil just to keep the butter from popping and sizzling too much. You don't want it to pop and maybe burn you. Once your butter melts and is starting to bubble a little bit, continue to do nothing. Just stir it around a little bit, keep it moving, don't let it scorch. We're going to let the heat build up in this until the solids in the butter start to brown, hence the brown and brown butter, and it'll give it a toasted, nutty flavor to the butter. Probably going to take between 5 and 10 minutes on a medium-low heat. Again, keep it stirred up, keep it moving, don't let it scorch. Once your butter starts to bubble and sizzle like that, keep a really close eye. You want to keep this stirred up, you don't want to scorch it. You can adjust the heat down a little bit. Me, I just like to keep it moving. It changes very quickly. It'll go from this golden hue of melted butter to brown, just really fast. Around the edges here, you'll see the solids start to turn brown. Getting really close now. There it goes. See, there it goes. All right. And it's a nice slow process. Take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Now, even though this is on a medium-low temperature, we've allowed that heat to just build up. So this is going to be really hot. And you'll see that, aside from my stirring, it's not going to bubble very much because the butter solids are cooked and they're not bubbling anymore. Alright, so that's about good right there. That's a browned butter. And we're just going to add half of our sage, and it's going to immediately start cooking like that. Beautiful smell. And then we'll go in with our squash. Chunk it out a little bit, separate it a bit with your spatula. You'll see that nice brown hue from the butter. Keep it in the pan. And you just want to stir and get that sage all through there. And that's really all you have to do. I mean, your squash should have been fairly warm from the oven, so you're really just looking to get that butter done and that flavor in there fast. And it's ready to go. Plating is fairly simple. Just spread it out nicely. And you can give it a little bit of extra sage on top. Really beautiful side dish. Really simple. A little time consuming. And this is a really awesome side dish for chicken. I did it with a herb roasted chicken and it works really well. Alright guys, thanks again for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Check us out on all our other outlets. And we will talk to you again soon. Thanks a lot.